Morning guys, hey, it's Len from Mercuryman Garage and Outdoors. And what a beautiful day to be outdoors. You might say it's the calm before the storm. They're calling for some serious storms here in the Midwest starting tonight and into tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. But today we're going to continue on with what we left off with the other day when I was splitting or cutting that wood. We're going to start splitting. We got all this cherry sitting here behind me, the ant-infested cherry, and we got some mulberry. I don't know if I'll get that far today, and back over there is some locusts too. But the goal today is just to get that cherry done, because I want to get that split up and drying so it's ready by this fall and winter. And it's probably, might even be ready before that, I don't know, because with it being rotten like that in the middle, I don't know. I think it'll dry fast. So we're gonna get going on that, and stay tuned. All right, well, I think we're about ready to get going here. You see my setup. I had to turn the splitter a little bit so I could utilize my log lift table. And yes, that is my log lift table for now. Hopefully a better one coming in the future. But as you can see, I got my new gorilla cart stationed where I think that'll be good, where I can throw the scraps. And gonna be a lot of scrap in this stuff. All that rot I'm gonna throw right in there, and try to deal with the ants as we go. But there's my setup and my cherry. So that's about it. Let's get going. All right, guys, let's stop here for a second and see what I got here. You guys saw how I struggled with that large round. That's about the biggest one. So I thought I'd start right away with the big one. But this is what I got out of it. And that was my waste. A lot of that is that rotty stuff. And this wasn't even the worst rotten one. There's ones that are bad. But it's not a lot of waste there. I probably could use some of that, but I don't want to risk ants. And as I was splitting, the ants are scattering, and I'm hoping that they disperse now that it's split and I cut off all the rot. What do you guys think about that? I'm not going to get an ant problem again now if I put them in totes and dry this out, will I? I've never had too much of a problem with ants in dry cherry as long as they're in a tote. You know, that rotty part, yeah, they like that, but once they're split and dry and cleaned up, I don't think I'm going to have any trouble anymore. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, you can see the quality of these splits. Not the greatest. Some of them are really nice, some are kind of bent and crooked, and you know, this one here, say, knotty, ugly. Definitely not premium quality. So let's talk about that a second. Kind of following up on Britt He did a video on this subject not too long ago. Britt from Foothills Firewood did a great video on bundlewood quality and how we as a community may be overthinking this a little bit. And I kind of agree with him. I've done some videos on it before too, where, you know, it's not so much the prettiness of the wood that matters, it's the quality, burn quality of the wood. And I 100% agree with him on that. Yeah, it's nice to have all your pieces, you know, look like this one. And, you know, maybe you can charge $1 more a bundle for them. Maybe. But this one here, and I did a video on this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this one here, compared to this one in the stove, they're going to burn the same. Once they're dry and seasoned, they're going to burn the same. And this one may even burn longer because of this knot. That's a harder, denser wood right there. And, you know, like I said, once it's fully seasoned, that's probably going to burn longer than this purdy one. So, I don't know. I'm not going to touch on that too much because I've done videos on it. And check out Britt's video. Britt from Foothills Firewood did a great video talking about bundlewood quality and, you know, the need for, you know, maybe we don't need to focus so much on how pretty they are, but the bundlewood quality is maybe what we need to focus on more. Now I feel like I got ants crawling all over me. Okay, well, we're gonna have a change of plans here. We're gonna stay away from these rotty ones for now. Maybe I'll get to them this afternoon, but I'm gonna focus on these good cherry logs first. Get these split up, and if I have time this afternoon, I'll tackle these ant-infested ones. Man, these things, ugh. I feel like I got ants crawling all over me now. And I probably do. But those black ants, man, there's thousands of them came out of that one log. All right, well, that's that. And this is what I got out of those 3 logs. This tote right here, plus this one back here, I topped off. That was probably about 2/3 full. So I got more than 1 tote out of those 3 logs. But let me tell you, other than the ants, that was some of the gnarliest cherry I've ever split. I don't know why it was like that, but it didn't split clean at all. I mean, it looks decent after it was all said and done. Looks pretty good. There's some pretty nasty pieces in there, but I'm still gonna sell them in my bundles. But I don't know, it was real stringy. Almost kind of reminded me of elm a little bit, but yeah, that's the worst splitting cherry I've ever had. And I know now why the guy was giving it away. Full of ants and pretty stringy. But that's how it goes sometimes. Still worth it in the end. I think it is anyway, to get free wood. Might have to put a little more time into some of the stuff we get, but it's all worth it. All right, well, that's that, guys. I ended up with a lot of scrap. I guess you'd say it might be boiler wood, or I might pick some of this. You see it here. I might pick some of this out of here and sell it as like smoker wood or something like that. But that's the stuff. Most of that stuff in there is what's the ant damage and stuff like that. So I'll probably just burn it. But I think that's gonna do it for today. I still got that locust to do and the mulberry. We'll save that for another day. But let me tell you, horizontal splitters are slow. We all know that. It's no EVO, that's for sure. Let's think about this for a minute. Those 3 logs on an EVO might have taken what? I don't know, 10, 15 minutes? This took me 2 days. 3 logs, just cut them up, split them, and put them away. I mean, I didn't do it all day, both days, but I probably could have done that all in 1 day. But I know this is kind of, it's not comparing apples to apples, but still, with an EVO, 10 minutes, that would have been done. And moving on to something else, as opposed to 2 days. Just think about that for a minute. But yeah, it's no EVO. My county line is, I'm going to call it C slow. You know, you got an EVO, mine's a C slow. So that's the new nickname for my splitter. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Please give me a like, please subscribe, leave a comment. And remember, find your thing, guys. Have a good one.